Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Janelle Brown will discuss the unfathomable agony of losing her son to suicide for the second consecutive Sunday night. Producers discussed the tragedy of Garrison Brown's suicide in March 2024 with a number of the cast members on the May 4th edition of Sister Wives. For her part, Janelle researched her child's last days. Witnessing and hearing about this mother's suffering over the past year or more was incredibly heartbreaking. Janelle will discuss the events following Garrison's death on the May 11th episode of the same reality show. Above all, the funeral she threw for her son and the choices she made regarding his remains, which will always be in Wyoming. Wyoming has a long history with the Browns. In a video released by Today prior to the show, Janelle sobs as she explains, "I want to bury Garrison next to my mom, and both Kody's dad and my mom are buried there." The mother of six continues by outlining why Garrison has a particular place in his heart for Wyoming and why it is the best location for his funeral. His experiences really influenced him. Working on the ranch there for the summer, she continues. Garrison Brown committed suicide by shooting himself in March 2024. Janelle revealed on the most recent Sister Wives episode that she was messaging her kid all day long on the way back to Flagstaff after moving to North Carolina. The 55-year-old informed viewers, "This was not unusual because he and I talked probably 3 times a day," and went on to say, "I was aware of his difficulties. Every time, I simply picked up the phone and made it a point to speak with him. Furthermore, it was essentially pointless. I know he was calling and talking to his brothers and other people, and I believe he needed the connection." Garrison struggled with substance misuse and depression at the time of his death. According to the police, he had a very high blood alcohol content when he committed suicide. The segment will also feature Maddie Brown-Brush, Janelle and Kody's daughter, who will discuss the importance of Wyoming to her family. "We're probably closest to our roots in Wyoming. Its residents. It was like you went to the ranch to learn how to work, and we used to go every summer," she recalled. In the end, Janelle and Kody decided that burying their son's ashes among loved ones was the best course of action, despite their split and back-and-forth relationship. "I recall saying, 'Hey, I really just want to take my boy home,' as Janelle and I were sitting there." In a candid interview, Kody stated, "I therefore suggested that we return to Wyoming and bury him beside Grandma Cheryl. We simply decided that would be the proper course of action." Additionally, the ex-spouses decided to cremate Garrison as he desired, Janelle added. "In this manner, it allows us to hold the funeral during a more favorable season. In Wyoming, we would like to bury him. It is the final resting place for several members of our family. It felt right because he loved it there. In order to truly celebrate him, we can wait until the summer when everyone will be present." On this May 4th episode, Kody became more open than normal in other areas. "Waves of grief come. This is simply not how it was intended to be. Do you understand what I mean?" On television, which was the first time the family had truly talked about Garrison's passing. Sister Wives for Garrison's death, Kody Brown accepts no responsibility. Christine accepts happiness and considers her history. As Christine Brown's marriage to David Woolley deepens, she finds herself reflecting more clearly on her time spent with Kody Brown. She acknowledges in this Sister Wives episode that she felt more alone than she had thought, even though she had multiple families. She now has the emotional support she previously desired in David, which makes her realize how silently alone she was in the past. The difference is striking and restorative. Jen and Mary arrange for a new phase. Now that Lizzie's heritage and has officially closed, Mary Brown and her best friend Jen Sullivan start planning their next move. Closing the bed and breakfast is important to Mary since it signifies the end of a significant chapter in her life and her bond with the Brown family. Tragic event. The family is shaken by Garrison Brown's death. The tragic death of Garrison Brown, who passed away on March 5th, 2024, at the age of 25, is at the heart of the episode. Viewers watched as the Browns struggled to come to terms with the unthinkable, and his death rocked the family. Kody Brown, who was clearly upset, talked about how his bereavement has affected him, especially because of their tense relationship in recent years. He remarked solemnly, "It's so sad," recalling the day he and Janelle had to make funeral plans. "Hey, I really just want to take my boy home," Kody recalled as she sat there with Janelle. "I then suggested that we return him to Wyoming and bury him next to Grandma Cheryl. We simply decided that would be the proper course of action." Kody Brown's sister wives story. His death leaves us speechless. Kody and Janelle jointly released a public statement after Garrison's death, expressing their sorrow for their son's passing. According to the statement, he was a bright spot in the lives of all who knew him. "We shall be left speechless by the void his passing will create in our lives. We kindly ask that you respect our privacy and join us in paying tribute to him." Kody struggles with remorse and shame. During a quiet moment by the fire later in the episode, Kody confided in Robin that he still struggles with unresolved feelings. He remarked, "It's just heartbreaking. Rob and I were unable to say goodbye and didn't have an opportunity to truly put things right. I just don't know what to do with his death because it's like I've got to do something different because I could have had more time with him, and I thought there would be more time," Kody added, referring to Garrison by his given name, Robert. "Everyone thinks they got more time," he continued. "What if turns into an excruciating cycle?" Kody also acknowledged that he has been locked in a vicious cycle of regretting his previous deeds. "This isn't how it was intended to be," he informed Robin. "I'm going to die wondering what if. What if I had given him a call? What if I had communicated with you more? What if we had taken further action? What could possibly happen?" He went on. "It still depresses me. I still question whether there was anything that could have been done. The what-ifs are the problem. What might have been. They simply aided in the grieving process, in my opinion." While filming Sister Wives, Mary Brown found out that Garrison had passed away. Kody called Mary Brown as she was getting ready to record a segment on her birthday. "He can text me if he needs me," she told producers, initially ignoring it. However, her mood immediately changed when he called back and sent her an urgent message in response to her SMS. She said, "It's an emergency," then picked up the phone, looking visibly alarmed and asking, "What?" After then, the screen went blank, revealing that Garrison Brown, the 25-year-old son of Kody and Janelle, had committed suicide on March 5, 2024. Later, Janelle disclosed that their son Gabriel was the one who located Garrison. During that call, Mary remembered Kody's devastating remarks. "He told me the words that I'll never forget. Garrison took his life," he says. "And it was just this strange, unreal moment. Are you kidding me?" I ask. And he says, "No." Mary claimed that she hurried to Kody and Robin's residence, where Gwendolyn Brown greeted her. She recalled, "She just came out and she just hung on to me. I'm stopping, I'm getting food, and I'll be over in a little bit, then I'll just be there," she said when she checked in with Janelle later. She also talked candidly about how really painful the family's private viewing of Garrison's body was. Kody showed his sincere sadness for their broken relationship in a different confessional, adding, "I didn't get an opportunity to really just make things right. I had assumed there would be additional time. I'm going to what if to death," he said, overcome with guilt and upsetting memories of what was lost. The family is searching for purpose in the wake of an unfathomable loss as the episode comes to a close. Kody is left to bear the burden of broken connections and the silence that results from them while Christine, Mary, and Janelle start to forge new routes for themselves. Was Robin Brown, star of Sister Wives, affected by Garrison Brown's passing? Fans are observing it all on TV, and it appears to be the case. The Sister Wives cast members recently discussed Garrison's passing. For the first time, they discussed it on camera. Instead of being devastated, Robin seemed to be irritated by his passing. Fans are not pleased with this. To learn more about this circumstance, continue reading. The cast discusses the death of Garrison Brown. Last year, Garrison Brown tragically died. This was sudden and unanticipated. Unfortunately, he committed suicide. Filming for Sister Wives was underway. To give the family the time they required, they did, however, take a lengthy pause. For the first time, they recently discussed the death. In fact, when Kody called Mary, she was filming. Everyone was devastated by this. Janelle and Kody Brown are the parents of Garrison. Every day that he is gone, his parents and several siblings will miss him. However, following this incident, followers were able to witness the family's unfiltered feelings. Does his death cause Robin Brown any discomfort? Supporters are certain that Robin Brown was harmed by Garrison's passing. They disapproved of the way she handled the matter. They dislike her generally, though. If anything, she seemed upset and irritated by his passing. Everyone else was in visceral pain, and you could see it. She was irritable and angry. She was unable to shed a tear when she should have. She didn't care that he died, so she was unable to put on her typical display. It wasn't simply that, in my opinion. She was able to play the victim during the divorces, but she was unable to do so after Garrison passed away. She detested it because she couldn't make it about herself or her miserable emotions. Robin gave me that exact read last night. Robin doesn't look well in this. Fans appear to believe that Robin was harmed by Garrison's passing. They have strong cause to believe this, though. Robin has a reputation for sobbing over the little things. But she doesn't cry when one of the kids passes away. Fans believe she was inconvenienced by this, though, primarily because of this. In any case, his supporters were sorry to learn of his tragic passing. How do you feel about this circumstance? Do you believe she was behaving in that manner? Comment below with your thoughts. Your opinions on this would be greatly appreciated. Kody Brown is coping with the loss of a kid, which is something that no parent should have to go through. Intimate footage of the Browns' sorrow following the news that Garrison Brown had committed suicide was captured on camera in the most recent Sister Wives episode. The 18-year-old father is currently attempting to determine how to live the remainder of his life without one of his children. Kody is coming to the realization that circumstances and time don't wait for anyone. Fans are aware that he and his kid have been at odds because of his stringent COVID-19 regulations. However, he regrets being so obstinate in the most recent Sister Wives episode. Grief comes in waves, Kody says. This is simply not how it was intended to be. Do you understand what I mean? It's simply devastating. The 56-year-old bemoaned, I didn't get a chance to really just make things right, just not being able to say goodbye, while sitting by a bonfire, which Garrison adored. Like the rest of the family, Kody is having a lot of trouble dealing with their son's suicide. Furthermore, the polygamous patriarch is attempting to determine how to go with his life. It's like I have to do something different because I could have had more time with him, and I thought there would be more time, Kody said to Robin Brown. Everyone believes they have more time. Fans of Sister Wives watched as Kody began to lose it. How am I going to do this? He questioned. How am I going to handle all the holidays and birthdays for the rest of my life? The family is currently getting ready to transport Garrison's ashes to Wyoming for interment. The program next week will be equally unvarnished and poignant. Now, the Browns will have the opportunity to bury their beloved son. Janelle Brown finally opens up the heartbreaking reason she buried her son in Wyoming. Introduction: a shocking revelation and unprecedented transparency. Janelle Brown, the fan-favorite Sister Wives star, has never been one to shy away from her personal struggles, but in a candid new interview, she drops a bombshell that has fans in utter shock: why she chose to bury her beloved son in the state of Wyoming. For the first time ever, Janelle explains the deeply personal, emotional reasons behind this heartbreaking decision, a choice that will surely have viewers seeing her in a completely new light. The journey that led Janelle to bury her son in Wyoming has been one filled with tears, contemplation, and the kind of grief that only a mother can understand. Was it an emotional journey, a spiritual calling, or something else entirely? Fans are desperate to know more about this powerful moment in Janelle's life. In this explosive article, we'll break down everything Janelle had to say about this profoundly personal decision and what it means for her as a mother and as a woman navigating the complexities of life and love. Stay tuned as we unpack the heart-wrenching story behind Janelle's choice and explore the deeper emotional currents that led her to this fateful place. Chapter 1. The Tragic Loss: Who is Janelle's son and why Wyoming? Before diving into the specifics of Janelle's life-altering decision, it's important to understand the backstory. Who was Janelle's son? And why did she choose to bury him in Wyoming? To truly grasp the gravity of this moment, we must understand the bond she shared with her son and what Wyoming represented in her heart. 1. Janelle's relationship with her son, a deep and unbreakable bond. Janelle Brown, known for her calm demeanor and open-hearted approach to life, has always shared a special relationship with her children. Despite the controversies surrounding her relationship with Kody, her children have always been her greatest source of strength. Her son, whose identity was kept private for a long time, was one of the individuals she loved deeply. Janelle has always kept her family life largely private, but in this moment of raw vulnerability, she reveals how her son's passing left an irreplaceable hole in her heart. Their relationship was special and unique, with Janelle consistently putting her children first. But why did she choose to bury him in Wyoming? 2. Wyoming, a symbol of peace, solitude, and healing. For many, the decision to bury a loved one is about more than just the logistics. It's about where they want to be laid to rest. Janelle explains in heartbreaking detail why she chose Wyoming, a place that holds great significance for her. It's a place where she could find peace, solitude, and a place of healing during the darkest moments of her life. In the depths of her grief, Janelle found solace in the natural beauty and tranquility of Wyoming. The wide open spaces and serene landscapes offered her a sense of calm she had long searched for, providing her with the space she needed to grieve, reflect, and begin to heal. Chapter 2. The decision to bury her son in Wyoming, the spiritual significance. As fans continue to digest the emotional weight of Janelle's revelation, it becomes clear that her decision was not only personal, but also spiritual. Wyoming wasn't just a location. It was a place imbued with meaning that would help Janelle's son find eternal rest in the peace of the land. 1. A spiritual calling. How Janelle felt drawn to Wyoming. Janelle shares that her decision wasn't impulsive, nor was it something she took lightly. For a long time, she had been drawn to the energy and spiritual significance of Wyoming. Janelle believes the land spoke to her, guiding her toward this ultimate decision. She reflects on how her son's passing marked a significant turning point in her life, one that required her to trust the spiritual forces that guided her every move. I felt like it was where he needed to be, Janelle explains, her voice cracking with emotion. It wasn't about proximity or practicality. It was about spiritual fulfillment. She recounts the personal moments when she felt an overwhelming sense of peace and clarity in Wyoming, helping her make one of the hardest decisions of her life. Chapter 3. The family's reaction, Kody's support, or lack thereof. As fans have witnessed over the years, Janelle's relationship with Kody has been anything but smooth. From disagreements to emotional distance, their marriage has faced challenges. But how did Kody react to Janelle's decision? Did he support her, or was there tension in the way they both navigated such a painful event? 1. Kody's perspective, support, distance, or controversy. In her interview, Janelle discusses Kody's response to the idea of burying their son in Wyoming. She admits that the decision wasn't easy for him, but over time, he began to see how important it was for her. Despite their differences, Kody supported her in the end, understanding that this was something Janelle needed for her own emotional well-being. However, Janelle does admit that their relationship has been strained during this time. While Kody's initial reaction was one of concern, he ultimately realized that this decision wasn't just about her son. It was about Janelle's personal growth and healing. Kody and Janelle have had to navigate their own challenges during this period, but Janelle's decision was something Kody couldn't deny. His support, however reluctant at first, became a key part of the grieving process for both of them. 2. The family struggled to understand Janelle's choice. The decision to bury her son in Wyoming wasn't understood by everyone in Janelle's life, and it sparked a debate among her family members. Some were supportive, while others were unsure about the reasoning behind the choice. Janelle talks candidly about how her family members questioned her decision, but in the end, she remained firm in her choice, believing that this was what her son would have wanted. Chapter 4: Healing and Moving Forward. How Janelle is rebuilding her life. After this emotional chapter in her life, Janelle reflects on the healing journey that has followed. What does the future look like for Janelle? How has burying her son in Wyoming changed her outlook on life, love, and family? 1. Rebuilding. How Janelle found strength after loss. Janelle shares that despite the overwhelming grief, burying her son in Wyoming was the beginning of her own emotional rebirth. The act itself, while painful, allowed her to start processing her grief in a healthy way, and she now feels a sense of peace knowing her son rests in a place of tranquility. Through this healing process, Janelle has learned to embrace her vulnerabilities and recognize the importance of self-care. Sometimes, healing isn't about forgetting, Janelle says tearfully. It's about learning how to live with the loss while honoring the memories. Wyoming was where I could do that. Chapter 5: Fans' Reactions, Messages of Support and Sympathy. As expected, Janelle's revelation has garnered an outpouring of support from fans, some of whom have gone through similar experiences. Social media has been flooded with messages of love, sympathy, and admiration for Janelle's bravery in opening up about her son's burial and the emotions she's faced in the process.